'72. It was started by the Ferrari Club, and they ran Ferraris that today are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but back then they were just old race cars. You've got an open road, an open two-lane mountain road that's twisty and windy, and you go as fast as you can.
This is straight uphill. We start at 5,000 feet and go to 6,200 feet over a distance of 5.2 miles. Here we have off-camber turns, we have a crown in the road, sometimes we have road markings. A lot more difficult to convey to the drivers just how differently this is.
My name is Duck. I live up at Lake Tahoe. This is my '74 911. I've had it since 1983. And when I bought it, it was pretty much stock, let's say. And it's kind of morphed. It's had several changes. Now it appears to be a GT2 car, 993 GT2. Underneath has Bilsteins and iBox. It's all old school suspension. 3.6 single turbo, 993 motor. It's got an old school 930 4-speed in it. It's got short gears. They just weighed the car this morning. It's a little heavy for what I do, but it's 2,300 pounds. I try to keep the RPM down, just run it to 6,500 so the motor lasts. You know, I can't afford, it's rather expensive to do this. I can't afford to break something, you know, so I keep the boost turned down to, it's 1.1 bars. Run the motor to 6,500 RPM. It goes pretty good. It goes pretty good. I'm hoping to be in the teens, and hoping to beat that Corvette. The other goal is to come back here Sunday night and have a beer and be in one piece. Prepping for the last, I don't know, probably two, 3 weeks, getting ready for this. Well, first thing I did was check the tire pressures. These are a DOT tire, which I'm not used to running on. I'm used to running on bias ply slicks. Those you start at like 18 in the morning. These, I start off at 30 pounds cold. And walk around the car, just kind of do a visual on it, make sure there's nothing loose in the car. What I think is the most important thing is to know the course, is to know the hill. Know what's around the bend that you can't see. You know, what's coming up next. You know, it's in the earlier years when I did this, I had a co-pilot with me, and he would call out our pace notes and tell it. Then I learned the track. And then it was like, you know, hey, that was fun. And so I'm not going to say I have the track wired or the hill, but I have some knowledge of it. But still, you have to be careful because, you know, it's unforgiving. There's no runoff. Emergency vehicles could be a ways away. If you end up down at the bottom of a canyon, you're screwed.
My name is Graham Ross. I'm a volunteer here with the Silver City Volunteer Fire Department. We've been covering this event for the last 2 years since it started. What we do here is we pick up the wreck, pick up the mess if something goes wrong, and we hope that nothing goes wrong, but if it does, we're here to respond for you guys. In the last few years, we've had a couple cars go off the edge of the road, and we've had to deploy our squad with our rope rescue gear to pull the victims up. And then also we've had numerous accidents, just cars going off the road that we've had to stabilize them and transport them.
Okay, so you just slid out.
Just slid out wide.
Spin.
No spin. I just started drifting wide. I couldn't. Just picked up a little push there and pushed into it. Just very too much speed in.
Okay. Everything okay? Any medical?
Oh, not at all. No, it wasn't even hard. I just drove off the bank and I just when it hit the ground, hit hard enough and broke both the front
Okay.
First run was pretty hideous. It was a disaster. There's no power steering. It's all manual. The steering's heavy. You got to wrestle it a little bit. It's got an obnoxious clutch, so my foot hurts. You know. The synchros I've been abusing them, so you got to yard on it a little bit. But yeah, it's not like the new stuff. I was more in the game on the second, third, and fourth run. The tires had a little bit more core temperature. You know, being on the brakes off and on warms the wheels up, hence it warms up the tires and whatnot. So I think the third run might have been one of my better runs, and then later in the afternoon, same kind of thing. Didn't have any disastrous runs. All the runs were good. There was some better than others. You know, I don't know what he ran. You know, people are saying he ran a 14 or something like that. That's pretty quick. But of course now we hear he has 800 horsepower to my 4, possibly 5.
I'm Lou Gelati from LG Motorsports. This is our Corvette ZR1, highly modified by LG Motorsports. We've got one of our LG cams in it, ported heads, some more boost. We've done a lot of aero work and cooling work with a better intercooler, and with our headers and all the work we've done, we probably have a couple hundred more horsepower than a stock ZR1, so we're right in the 800 horsepower range. But it still drives like a Sunday go-to-meeting car. I was here last year. We won it last year, but we did a 321, 321.7 last year. We pretty much matched that on our first run. We did a 17 on our second run. We did a 14.4 on our third run, and we were in the process of doing a 3-minute 12-second run when the guy crashed in front of us. So, you know, we know there's at least a 12 in the car, but we'll be back next year, and it'll be our third year here, and by then I might remember the track.
My name is R.J. Gottlieb. I drive what's known as the Big Red Camaro. Over the years, we've run it in a number of exhibition events where they block off public highways and do different rallies and stuff like that. We've run Locker in Mexico, run the Silver State Classic, Texas Mile, Mojave Mile, and a number of other events. The car is capable of going over 220 miles an hour. It's the same shape as the 69 Camaro, but it's been completely rebuilt and redone. This is a full tube chassis car with a coilover springs. Has a 9-inch spool rear end. It's, as I said, 540 cubic inch Donovan engine. Although this is actually the smaller engine. We have a larger one that we built for the high-speed rallies. That's actually 598 cubic inches. This one puts out about 900 horsepower. The bigger one puts out over 1,200. But just given how tight this course is, I actually felt that the bigger motor might even be a detriment to me, just because it's just kind of overpowered for the application. And so far, we're happy with how it's running.
Yesterday I was trying to sneak into it and not do something silly. Get used to the track or the course. So yesterday I started with low boost, 0.9 bar. Today it's 1.1 bar. It's got a fresh set of plugs in it and full-on race gas. Car ran really good. It pulled really hard. The track I think might have been faster yesterday. Today there was a lot of gravel. I think the asphalt, the tarmac was deteriorating. Yeah, and you could hear it hitting the car. You could feel it. So after a couple runs like that, I figured, you know, yesterday's time was probably the best I was going to pull off. I had two goals. One was to get into the teens, and the other goal was to come back in one piece along with my car and have a beer Sunday night and, you know, thank my car.